Welcome to this week's interesting edition of NASS This Week on EkoHot TV. My name is Comfort Olayinka. On Tuesday, the 4th of July, the 10th Assembly resumed from a 2-week break. During the plenary session, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajudeen Abass, commended the 6 committees set up before the recess to see to the affairs of the House for a job well done, particularly the Committee on Welfare and Legislative Agenda, headed by Honorable Wale Raji of Ekpe Federal Constituency of Lagos State. As the tradition of the House after the inauguration of a new assembly, the House of Representatives has named 8 members as principal officers of the 10th Assembly, which are Minority Leader, Deputy Minority Leader, Minority Whip, Deputy Minority Whip, amongst others. The motions for Tuesday, the 4th of July. Honorable Ahmed Mohammed Munir moved for the need to recharge and restore Lake Chad.
To read a motion on the need to recharge and restore Lake Chad. The House notes, once a lifeline for millions of people in the Sahel region, Lake Chad, in correlation with the largest endorheic basin in Africa, has been rapidly shrinking over time due to climate change and unsustainable water management practices. Concerned that the shrinking of the lake has led to severe consequences on economic opportunities, causing displacement of millions of people who are now living in poverty and facing the threat of heightened security risks and extremism with both national and international ramifications. Mandate the Committees on Water Resources, Appropriation, Foreign Affairs, Environment, Climate Change, Northeast Development Commission, Lake Chad, AIDS Loan and Debt Management, Cooperation and Integration in Africa, and Legislative Compliance when constituted to ensure compliance.
Honorable Mohammed Bello El Rufai moved for the need to address the disagreement on police recruitment process between the police force headquarters and the Police Service Commission. On Wednesday, the 5th of July, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Kalu Benjamin Okezie, presided over the plenary session. Motions of the day. Honorable Oluwole Oke moved a motion on the need to investigate federal ministries, departments and agencies, parastatals and tertiary institutions on mismanagement of personal recruitment, employment, racketeering and gross mismanagement of the integrated payroll and personal information system.
So the House also observed that the introduction of these reforms, most ministries, departments and agencies in collusion with the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation and the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, have devised methods to insert ghost workers and get payments through backdoor channels. They have also crafted methods that are being used to circumvent the BVN technology. This state of affairs is costing the federal government of Nigeria billions of naira monthly in salary payments to ghost workers and illegal payment to several civil servants across cadres.
Honorable Bamidele Salam of Eden North, Osun State, moved for the need to roll out measures to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal. On Thursday, the 6th, the House read a letter from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the confirmation of the appointment of the Chief of Defense Staff and the Service Chiefs by the National Assembly.
In compliance with the provisions of Section 18, subsection 1, of the Armed Forces Act, Cap A20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the 4 nominees listed below as Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs of the Armed Forces, as well as the House of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And their names are stated as below. Chief of Defense Staff, Major General C.G. Musa. Chief of Army Staff, Major General T.A. Labaja. Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala. Chief of Air Staff, AVM H.B. Abubakar. The House of Representatives is invited to note the current security situation of our country, which requires concerted effort of both the legislature and the executive to ensure a well-protected nation. This informed the review of our defense architecture and appointment of new leaders to work in synergy with one another to achieve the level of optimal performance expected of the military.
Honorable Kafilat Ogbara moved the motion on the need to enforce the provision of the Discrimination Against People with Disabilities, citing Prohibition Act 2018. Honorable Tessa Ugbo moved for an urgent need for further legislation action on student loans and access to higher education in Nigeria,
in a bid to ensure that the rights of disabled persons in Nigeria are safeguarded. Also note that Section 6 of the Act provides that from the commencement of the Act, there shall be a transitory period of 5 years, within which all public buildings and structures, whether immovable, movable, or automobile, which were inaccessible to persons with disabilities, shall be modified to be accessible and usable by persons with disabilities, including those on wheelchairs. The House further notes that Section 29 of the Act provides that all employers of labor in public organizations shall, as much as possible, have persons with disabilities constituting at least 5%. The House is concerned that, like every human being, people with disabilities have fundamental human rights, and it is the duty of the government to ensure that these rights are respected, protected, and fulfilled.
The Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, on Tuesday during the plenary session at the resumption sitting announced names of principal officers for the Senate.
APC, the All Progressive Congress, caucus of the Senate, after due consultations, have emerged with their leadership, which will be the fulcrum of commencing other businesses in the chambers. So I'm happy to announce that by consensus, the Senate leader is Senator Opeyemi Bamidele. He will be the majority leader of the Senate and the Senate leader. Senator Mohammed Ali Dume will be the chief whip of the 10th Senate. Senator David Umahi, by your consent, will act as the deputy leader, and Senator Oyorola Isha Ashiru will be the deputy chief whip.
The Senate on Wednesday again revisited the controversial disbursement of 5 billion naira loan to the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria.
You should have given me the report.
I've given you the report now.
I have not seen the report. It's a privilege of mine. What are you talking about? I have not seen the report. And the report was so-called said at the tail end of our tenure. We are new this thing. And this is a very serious matter.
Distinguished Senator Ali.
And when we were deliberating, we included almost every senator from each geopolitical zone. And we have been having that meeting, of which the chief whip have attended that meeting about twice. But the meeting continued. And if you will recall, the time we were about to submit the reports, the chief whip, I called you, you were in Maiduguri. And when they submitted the signature sheet to me for that report, you signed the report.
Responsible for the observance of the rules of order in the Senate and the committee respectively, and their decision upon any point of order shall not be open to appeal and shall not be reviewed by the Senate except upon a substantive motion after notice. Since I've ruled on it, if you want to repeal, you must come with a substantive motion. This issue is rested.
Stay tuned for our interview segment.
My name is Wale Raji, member representing the peripheral constituency in the House of Reps.
All right, sir. Thanks for having us, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're here to ask you about the principal officers, the election of the principal officers, where the APC is saying they are not aware and the presidency is in support of it. What is the cause?
Oh, well, I think it's just a matter of communication gap. And I think it will be addressed, and I believe it's even being addressed. So I don't think there's any major issue. So it's a matter of communication gap. As we are aware, it is basically the responsibility of members to choose their leaders. So in doing this, I mean, we do consult with the party. So if the party has expressed reservation about or raised any issue at all, I think it's a matter of communication gap, and I think it will be addressed, appropriately.
All right, so you are the chairman ad hoc committee on welfare. So when do you think we'll be moving to the formal chamber?
All things being equal, we expect that by the middle of August, the new chamber will be ready. At that time, we'll be on our annual vacation, so to resume in September. So all things being equal, by the grace of God, the chamber will be ready before resumption. And I can tell you that we will be resuming plenary, in the new chamber after our recess.
All right, sir. So let me quickly, deviate from the House of Representatives discussion. Let's move to Asiwaju's a month plus now in office. How can you assess its achievements so far?
Well, so far, so good. Asiwaju, the party, and our then candidate, now president, promised to hit the ground running. And you have seen it. I mean, it's been 30 days of activities, positive actions, and we're already feeling the impact. At least we now know that we have a government in place, a purposeful one for that matter.
The fuel subsidy has caused a lot of problem for Nigerians, especially those that buy fuel every day. It has caused a problem in the movement from one place to the other for Nigerians, and it's really bothersome. So what would you say as an APC person and then as someone who is also for Asiwaju, what would you suggest for him to do at this point in time when the whole thing, because even the food price has increased, what would you suggest that?
Well, I will not respond as an APC person, neither will I respond as an Asiwaju person. I will respond as a Nigerian. It's most unfortunate that we have left the right thing undone for so long. The removal of subsidy, it could be painful, but everybody has agreed on the fact that it was necessary to remove the subsidy. Otherwise, it will cause more harm to the economy than if you delay it further. So it's most unfortunate, but I know that the whole something is a process. The removal of the subsidy is just the first part of the process. It will be followed by a number of other actions to cushion the effects of the removal. So the present administration of President Tinubu is not an insensitive administration, and definitely actions are being taken. And by the time the relief package is unfolded, so Nigerians will appreciate the decision of the government.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've come to the end of today's edition of NASS This Week. Stay tuned for another interesting edition next week. Bye for now.